And we are live.
Welcome to the Fantasmagorium show. On today's show, Quentin Tarantino tells Bill Maher a whole bunch of things that we already know. Kathy Bates and Mel Brooks celebrate another orbit. And Willy Wonka is finally in 4K. How are you doing, Steve?
Hey, I'm doing good, Scott. How was your weekend?
It was, oh man, I had to recover after the Friday show.
Yeah.
That was, wow. I had a lot of fun, but my Saturday was sort of mortgaged. And but Sunday we had a garage sale and I got some rays, so that sort of helped. The vitamin D. What's the sun vitamin?
D.
Yeah, I got that.
D. Yeah.
How was yours? Sorry, I am remiss.
As you can see, I spent my weekend building out the new studio space. So
wow.
So that the viewers have more to look at than just a bare wall behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the encouragement.
I thought there was something different. I thought you got a haircut.
No, that's coming next week.
It's the. Oh no, fair enough. But it looks fantastic. Let me take us on a guide here. Like I can see Captain America, I can see Superman. I got Spidey.
Alex Gray behind me, which is the artist for Tool's most of their albums. Yeah, we've got Captain America, we've got Superman, Spider-Man, Batman.
Yes.
Got a couple of pops. Arkham Knight, my Buddha. Just got some pops down there. It's kind of hard to see there on the floor, but just figured I'd make a, Foley's Bar and Grill. I don't know if you can see that with the glare, but just kind of gathered everything in this nice little corner. It's really nice because it actually gave me a lot more room and space, so it actually feels good. I got a couple of lights, got a good spot, and a nice red fill light at the bottom. New microphone, so hopefully you're hearing me well, and we aim to please here at the Fantasmagorium show, and we as much as we can as we keep going on this journey, we'd like to when we can put more money into the show and try to bring the fans the best, at least the best that we can do. If
you are listening on the Apple Podcast, you've got to get over and see the video on YouTube. This background is delicious.
Oh, thanks, man.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's cool. So why don't we jump in? Before we do that, though, we do have a little bit of a housekeeping to do. I should have done this Friday, and I kind of slept on it. I was having a little bit of a technical issue getting the stream elements to come into the show. So I'm going to add this now and see if it works. Perfect. So we have some new subscribers. Cam, subscribe to the channel. PD Rich, subscribe to the channel. Marnith Biswath. Amaranth, is that what? Okay, thank you very much. I suck at names. I butcher them all the time.
It's okay. That's why there's two of us.
Yeah, UK reaction guy. Yeah, somebody that actually knows how to speak, and then me.
But this one's up to you.
Oh man, you know what?
Kashitz?
Thank you, K.
David.
I'll just call you K. David because I can't pronounce that. Cleric Lucy, subscribe to the channel, and Stephen Ernest, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. We love the subscriptions. As you know, we ask for subscriptions, obviously, but what really helps us even more than that is comment, like, and share. That interaction really helps the channel grow. So to that end, let me go ahead and get the ticker on the bottom. Get that going, please. Smash that like button.
I love the ticker.
Yeah. Please like and share, and I'll do all that good jazz. Also, if you do want to leave a tip and along with your message or comment or question, please do so at www.streamelements.com/phantasmagoriumshow/tip. And as always, you can visit our website, which has our shows. It also has a link to the audio-only podcast, and that's at www.phantasmagoriumshow.com. Mm-hmm. And with that out of the way, and let's get you back on the screen.
Thank yous all around, and we thank you for supporting us.
Yeah, awesome. First up, before we get into some of the news of the day, there are two birthdays that we want to mention. One is big happy birthday to the amazing Kathy Bates.
The unsinkable Molly Brown.
Right. I will not say her age because I am a gentleman. But turning 95 today is happy birthday to Mel Brooks.
Very happy. Comic legend. What is your favorite Mel Brooks movie?
Oh, I don't. Right
if
off
if I ask you tomorrow, it may be different. It's okay. These are the rules.
You know what? I don't know.
I'm going to say Spaceballs. I'm going Spaceballs.
That's the one everybody goes with, and that's probably, if I really think about it, that's the one. I do like History of the World Part 1.
I've never seen History of the World Part 1.
So I might like that better than Spaceballs. Is that sacrilege to say? I don't know.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because I think most people would go to like Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles.
Mm-hmm. Blazing Saddle. I mean, there's so many good ones. It's hard for me to list. Oh, this is my favorite, because most of his work is a favorite.
For someone, I can even remember seeing To Be or Not to Be, and it was Mel Brooks and Bancroft, and I think Tim Matheson is in that one too. It takes place in World War II. It's fantastic. It's a musical. It's great. I have to revisit that. Anyway, happy birthday, Mel. Thank you for all the chuckles.
Mel Brooks. So here's something that's kind of a treat. I don't know if you've seen this movie. I don't know how many people did. It's the sophomore effort, I believe. It's the sophomore effort from John Singleton right after he did Boys in the Hood, and it's called Baby Boy. Baby Boy turned 20 years old yesterday, and they released an anniversary. Basically, what they did was they had a couple of the cast members come on and introduce the original trailer to the movie Baby Boy. So I figured, hey man, let's watch that and see what the contrast between a trailer 20 years ago and a trailer today.
Well, and I've never seen this movie, so I'm excited to find out that I have not seen this.
So this is a good experiment. I'd love to know after the trailer plays if it kind of triggers you to go watch the movie now.
Okay.
We'll see. Let's get into Baby Boy 20th Anniversary Cast Intro Official Trailer Video.
All right, y'all. What's up? It's your man Tyrese, a.k.a. Jody.
Hey, everybody. It's AJ Johnson, a.k.a. Juanita from Baby Boy.
Today is the 20th anniversary of Baby Boy.
Please journey back with us.
20th anniversary of Baby Boy. Y'all make sure y'all lock in.
Take a look back with us and watch Baby Boy at home.
Dear Lord, please forgive us for all the sins we have brought upon us. And look down upon us with forgiveness for all the sins we will have in the future. I know you understand that we are perfect, but we try, Lord. Show us the way. And if you can't show us the way, then forgive us for being lost.
John Singleton, creator of the breakthrough film, Boys in the Hood, brings you a new look at life in the hood.
That's my boy. I love you, girl. You got my son, and you probably gonna be my wife.
I got a date. Talking about I look all right. I look good.
It's time for you to grow up and be a man.
Be a man? What you mean, like you?
No, you can never be like me.
Tired of you cheating on me. What is all of that, Jody?
That's breaking the code, baby. I wouldn't break the code. I respect the code.
What's this?
Sensitive ass females. Y'all some unstable creatures.
You need to shut up.
I ain't gonna say the B word. I'm gonna say unstable creatures.
Ain't that the way it go?
You know what your problem is, baby boy? You need to stop sitting around here trying to blame everybody for your problems.
You my girl.
I already told you can't stay here. My baby daddy ain't having it.
Who, Jody?
They don't be calling my house asking to speak to my woman.
What's happening, baby?
Who we gonna kill, Jody Joe?
Do something. It's liable to come through with all his homies to shoot me, my girl, and my baby.
Jody!
Mama!
Ready to go to war, huh? Ain't trying to be no killer.
Columbia Pictures presents One Man's Fight to change the game. A film by John Singleton, Baby Boy.
Stay up, baby boy.
I got you.
Oh, yes, I do.
Well,
yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah.
It is an interesting trailer to be contrasted with the ones today. Thank heavens for the voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
I love the voiceover in terms of setting the tone of a film. That maybe that's the '90s kid in me.
Yeah.
And that cast was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the cast is amazing. I remember seeing this movie, but I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think I saw it afterwards when it came out on disc, on DVD, at home. But yeah, I remember seeing it and saying, "Wow, this is a good film." I loved Boys in the Hood, right? So, and then Baby Boy came out, and I'm like, "Damn, man, this guy's got chops." It wasn't, a one-time kind of fluke. John Singleton was we've in the preceding years learned how brilliant a filmmaker he really was.
Absolutely, yes.
But yeah, Tyrese Gibson, Snoop Dogg, Taraji B. Henson being Rhymes, like these, big actors that are still in the business working today. So I thought that was a cool little throwback. Kind of watch a video a trailer from 20 years ago. So hope you enjoyed it.
Well, no, and it does motivate me to go see the movie, just because not only does that movie look good, but I really have to flesh out my John Singleton knowledge. He was a brilliant filmmaker from a different perspective than mine, and so the movies that I have seen of his, I've enjoyed, and I've never been distracted by it, and so I would happily go and revisit some of his earlier work.
Awesome, yeah, it'd be great to pick up that DVD. I'm sure you can get it for fairly cheap on Amazon. So yeah, do that if and when you can. Next up, so let's talk box office. So this weekend, obviously, F9. It's funny.
Function Key 9.
Function Key no. Fast 9. It's Variety says their headline is funny. It says F9 zooms to mighty $70 million shattering pandemic records. So. Zooming. I thought that was funny.
At least it didn't say accelerated too.
Right. Well, I said speeding in our thing, so whatever.
No, it works. It works. All of the car puns are going to be acceptable.
Right. The only thing stronger than family, the box office debut of F9. The latest entry in Universal's Fast and Furious saga.
Who wrote this? Rebecca, you have a way with words. Rebecca Rubin. I don't know what kind of way, but it's certainly a way.
It is a way. After many delays over the course of a year and a half, F9 opened to a mighty $70 million from 4,179 North American venues.
Wow.
That's by far the biggest start for a movie in U.S. box office, not just since the onset of COVID-19, but since 2019 Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker.
Wow. And so is that based on the breadth of the release, or is that based on 70 million? Is that what Rise of Skywalker made?
I think it was just under 70 million or 80 million. I can't remember.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, that's probably something I should have looked up before the show.
Yeah, forget about it. This is an interactive show. Go check it out for yourself.
Right. They were hoping for 100 million to break the 100 million for the opening weekend. That did not happen. Most likely Black Widow. They're going to be looking for Black Widow to try to break that 100 million that weekend. That might happen. I don't know. But I think so. We'll have to see what the drop off is next weekend for F9 because the word of mouth isn't great. People that like silly popcorn movies and having fun, a thrill ride at the movie theaters are going to love this movie. But it's not getting great reviews and great word of mouth. So it's probably going to take a pretty big drop at the box office next weekend. And then obviously the weekend after that, we have Black Widow. And I think Black Widow's probably going to beat the 70 million. If you're into that kind of thing, I really don't care. I just want filmmakers to make amazing movies. You know?
As am I, but right now, in terms of the reopening of cinemas and cinema chains and how many people are actually getting out to the movies and wanting the movie experience, the cinema experience, the theater experience, whatever you want to call it, to live on and be something that I can still go to see these big movies. I want that to survive. So I'm kind of interested more in box office now than I was before, much in the same camp as yourself.
I agree with you. So I am paying more attention now just to see how people are, to kind of gauge how people are coming back to the theaters. Obviously, they went this weekend to see this movie. It made $70 million. A lot of money, right? That's about double the average of what regular movies, 34, 35 million at the box office is a pretty good weekend for most films. The Fast Nine is obviously, they've had at least $1 billion film that I know of. So you're talking, they're used to making 8, 9, 100 million, $1 billion at the box office. So this is probably a little underperforming for them, but still a great showing. And it shows that people are ready to go back into the theater. Whether they're still kind of at 25% capacity or not, it looks like people are ready to come back to the theater.
Great.
Which is awesome. And that's what we want.
Now, what have you heard about the movie?
I've heard that it's not very good.
Okay, I've heard both sides of the spectrum. I've heard that it is silly deliciousness if you're a Fast and Furious fan. And I've heard the other side saying, really? Come on.
Right.
And so both sides have been represented in my sort of perusal. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not a big fan of the rest of the series. So
yeah, I'm not either. I like the first Fast and Furious movie, and I haven't went back. It never got me back to the rest of the series. So I'm not the right person to ask. Although usually when there's two sides, when there's a bunch of people saying I hate it and a bunch of people saying it's a great time at the movies, I usually come down in the middle. So this is probably something I will see, just probably not in theaters. I'll probably wait for it to come on to VOD or a streamer. But I think it's, like I said, it's really good to see people back in the movie theater, and I hope that trend continues upward.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially as the bigger movies, and as you said, with Black Widow.
Yeah, so that'll be a good gauge to see how, those two movies kind of juxtaposed. We'll see how that does in 2 weeks. Next up on the docket.
The docket?
On the docket.
I love how you call it a docket. It's great. Rise
of the Beast cast Ron Perlman as Optimus Primal. So to me, it seemed like a no-brainer. If Cullen wasn't going to demand that he was going to do the voice, then I would assume that and I don't even know if that even works, because I'm not a big Beast Wars guy. But Ron Perlman's voice is epic. It makes sense. I assume that Optimus Primal is the leader of that faction.
That's what I figured.
Of the Beasts.
I don't know anything about the Beast Wars.
I don't know either. But that's that's a good get.
Well, Ron Perlman is a fantastic actor, and he's been in movies since the early 80s. And everything that he's done, it's always interesting to see him show up. If he's playing Optimus Primal, obviously it's going to be a voiceover role only. He's got a great voice for it. But also, I don't think there's a whole heck of a lot that I'm going to find appealing for myself. Going to see the giant robots turn into dinosaurs or jungle cats or whatever. It's not my jam. I'm sorry, everybody. It's just not my thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think after the second one, actually after the first one, I think I was kind of tapped out of them. I've seen the rest, but never in the theaters. I won't get duped in by their amazing trailers and crappy movies. But I did like Bumblebee. But Bumblebee was kind of a departure. So and it wasn't, you know, in the main kind of
continuity.
Well, yeah, in the main, didn't pick up after that last night or whatever it was. So
yeah, there was no Mark Wahlberg.
It was kind of a one-off. So I don't know if I'm going to like these. This sounds like a continuation of those movies.
But this is also an unserved fan base. Like there are Beast Wars fans out there who love it. And so I'm glad that they're being able to see their favorite Transformers series put on screen so that they can see it and ultimately write a lot of angry blogs about how it doesn't fulfill the source material. And this is not my Optimus Primal.
Right. This is not my Optimus Primal. I can see the headline now.
I know. So yep.
Good for Ron Perlman. I assume that Clancy Brown will show up in there somewhere and some other epic voices. But we'll see how that turns out as the days and weeks progress. Next up is the cast of Damien Chazelle's Babylon gets a little bigger. Over the weekend, they added Tobey Maguire, Spike Jonze, Olivia Wilde, and Phoebe Tonkin. So, both who all will now join Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. So this cast is shaping up to be a powerhouse. Set during the golden age of Hollywood, Damien Chazelle's Babylon will explore the rise and fall of multiple characters during the movie industry's stumbling over my words, transition from silent films to talkies. So that sounds it's an interesting premise. We'll see kind of how that all comes together. Hopefully, we see something, some footage or a trailer here by the end of the year. But I thought that was interesting news, and that's a powerhouse cast. So we'll look forward to that. Any thoughts on that cast or Babylon in general?
I like Damien Chazelle. So I really enjoyed La La Land. La La Land is one of my favorite musicals. And
me too.
It when I first saw it on a day that I wanted to go to the movies, I went and I talked to a friend of mine and I said, oh, and this is going to be spoilers for La La Land. I apologize. I said, well, it's a love story and it's a musical. And I had flashes of Moulin Rouge in the back of my head. And I was like, just tell me no one dies. And they were like, well, the spoilers. And I was like, I don't care about the spoilers. Just tell me if anyone dies. And she was like, nobody dies, Scott. It's going to be fine. And I was like, okay, I'll go see this movie. And I was so pleasantly surprised. It was exactly what I needed. And so if it is sort of following in the same wheelhouse, for lack of a better term, in terms of following Hollywood, I think it'll be a fantastic ode to or spotlight on it. And again, the cast looks great.
It's a very interesting time that transition because you had actors that were beloved in these silent films that couldn't make the transition. They they didn't sound right on on film and the talkies. So it's an interesting kind of era to explore.
Now, may I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Is this a little too similar to The Artist?
It's funny. In the piece that I grabbed, the author said the same thing. It said, reminds me of the 2011 movie, The Artist. So yes, I think so. But it does say multiple characters. So it looks like we're going to follow, a handful of characters and probably some will make it and make that smooth transition. The others won't. And we'll kind of, go through a journey with those on either side. Should be interesting. We'll see how that plays out.
It does sound interesting.
Next up, Quentin Tarantino tells Bill Maher he still plans to retire after one more film. I've got everything. I've given it everything I have. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe when Tarantino says this stuff, to be quite honest. I think he wants to retire. I think he thinks in his head that he's done everything he can do. He gave it all he can. But because he is such a creative tour de force, I give it a year or two tops. I think he's gonna wrap his final film, and then about, I don't know, 6 months to a year, he's gonna get an idea. And that idea is gonna start to blossom into, oh my God, I have to make this movie. Right? So listen, you have several really good filmmakers make really good films well into their 80s and 90s. We got Clint Eastwood making movies. He actually didn't start making really stellar films until he was in his 60s. There's a list of a few that are still kicking. I understand what he means, though, that by not wanting to stay around the party longer than he's invited, right? Like, he doesn't want to. I think he's afraid that he's going to keep making movies past his prime, and they're going to downgrade. They're going to be not good movies. I don't know what gives him that impression. I think he cited a couple examples of filmmakers that he admired that made great films, and then they should have hung it up on this film, but made a couple more, and they were stinkers. So you can kind of understand and kind of empathize with that, but man, he's still a fairly young man. He's got several, decades of filmmaking left in him. In my opinion, I don't think hanging it up is going to last. And a perfect example is Steven Soderbergh. How'd that retirement go for you, buddy? I mean, he's back making films. So these kind of guys, they get that itch, they get that itch, and they have to create. Go ahead.
I understand that. I don't know how, and this is my disinterest in Steven Soderbergh films after he said he retired, and when he came back, I was ambivalent. Did he really do anything that was all that interesting after he ended his retirement?
Yeah, I mean, he made this interesting movie on an iPhone that I liked with Claire Foy, and I can't remember the damn name of it right now. It's eluding me, but yeah, I mean, he's done some stuff.
And not to add fuel to the fire of Soderbergh not being good after he came back from his retirement, did he make more personal films after he came back from his retirement?
That seems to me that is a true statement, yes.
Okay, and so that maybe it's that the promise that George Lucas made when he said, I'm going to sell Lucasfilm and then I'm going to go and make a whole bunch of personal films, and I'm not doing any more Star Wars, I'm making personal films. And we never saw those except for like Red Tails, and he produced that. Right. But if it is a filmmaker who has that spark to create and then makes his own personal films, good for him, great. But does that cement Steven Soderbergh's career?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, he's got so many great films.
Yeah,
but I understand. Look, I'm not arguing the logic. I just don't know that it's
well. And I only bring it up because I read the quote from Tarantino, and he says, "That's why I want to quit." He said over a cheering audience, because I know film history, and from here on end, directors do not get better. Now, he is a younger man, as you mentioned, and you brought up Clint Eastwood as well. Clint Eastwood, part of the reason why he sort of got elevated was because of Unforgiven. Mm-hmm. And Unforgiven was an interesting perspective and film that only really could have been tackled by Clint Eastwood in terms of the aging, dying, and irrelevance of the Western genre and the elevation of hyperviolence, at least at the time in 1990, whatever, that it was considered to be a very violent film.
But I don't believe that he was unduly elevated because of that film, because he followed it up with $1 Million Baby.
And that is true. And by saying that Clint Eastwood is the only person who could make Unforgiven does not diminish Unforgiven. Yeah. It is poignant that Clint Eastwood made that movie. And yes, $1 Million Baby, brilliant. I saw it, and I don't want to tell that story because it's really depressing. Yeah. But after that, it seems like he's making more personal films as well. However, Clint Eastwood is more of a showman as opposed to the auteur director that, say, a Steven Soderbergh is.
Correct.
And so he's selling tickets and he's still making movies. But would you put them, like, once $1 Million Baby came out, there are some movies that have been regarded critically, but nothing that really jumps to my mind about, did you see The Mule?
Heartbreak Ridge?
Hey, but that's early 80s, man.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm sorry. What's the other one? Did I say that wrong?
No, Heartbreak Ridge is the one, Gunny Sargent.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about the one with Andrew Garfield.
No, that was Hacksaw Ridge, and that was Mel Gibson.
Oh, that's Mel Gibson. Okay,
yes.
My fault.
Oh, no, big deal.
Yeah, so maybe you're right.
So it's interesting, and if he wants to make 10 movies and get out of the joint, that's fine. I don't care. I am really because, again, speaking of Unforgiven, Gene Hackman, you know what he does for a living now? He's a novelist.
Mm-hmm.
I've never read a Gene Hackman novel. Quentin Tarantino is writing the adaptation to the novelization for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
tomorrow.
And I'm looking forward to that. And so if Quentin Tarantino quits movies and starts doing, hey, if he just spends the rest of his career not doing the novelizations for all of his previous movies, well, let's do that.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it's fine. It's not that I don't understand where he's coming from. It's that I don't believe that he's going to stay away. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if he's going to stay away. I think the itch and the draw and the need to create a film is going to come. Now, whether that's 6 months, a year, 5 years after the lights go down on the last one, I don't know, but I think it will happen. And I said it here on our show first. So
hey, you called it.
Another trailer for the Apple TV series Foundation dropped today. Really awesome. This series looks like it's going to be really good. It's an adaptation of Isaac Asimov's book Foundation, obviously, and anything sci-fi is right up my alley. So I'm always there for that. So I did pull the video or the trailer. So let's watch that real quick, and we'll get your thoughts on Foundation afterwards.
You can't save yourselves, but you can save your legacy.
You can't be here. You know that.
I can't be the first one who wanted to see my youngest self. Strange. Watching yourself being born.
Our genetic dynasty has reigned for almost 4 centuries. The might of the Imperium has brought peace to thousands of worlds. But the beliefs of one man now threaten the Empire's very existence.
I'm not a revolutionary.
His calculations are correct. The Empire is dying.
Order will vanish. Wars will be endless.
Only he can shorten the darkness.
The man has amassed a following. People who hinge their hopes on every word Sultan utters. Words have a way of fanning into wildfires.
You can't save yourselves, but you can save your legacy.
So anything with Jared Harris in it, I'm in, just off the bat.
Have you seen Mad Men?
I have not yet. You know this.
Come on, man.
I know. It's on the watch list. I'll get to it.
Okay.
I promise.
All right.
I promise I will get to it.
Okay.
That's funny.
It's got Jared Harris. That's all I'm
what
saying.
Did you think of Foundation?
It looks really, really interesting. I'm wondering if Apple Plus has a 30-day free trial. Great. So yeah, it looks fantastic. It and again, that's one of those science fiction movies or television shows. Pardon me. Is it a movie or TV show?
TV show series.
So and that'll be interesting to explore that world and find out the ins and the outs and the what have yous.
The scope
about that. The scope looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I'm like, wow, this is, I'm excited to see it. Based on the award-winning novel by Isaac Asimov, Foundation chronicles a band of exiles on their monumental journey to save humanity and rebuild civilization amid the fall of the Galactic Empire.
So, this comes out in September, and you can read the book first. I may actually do this as a book. I may read the book before it comes out because it's Isaac Asimov. I've never read it. That's a ringing endorsement. Now I can imagine Jared Harris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. I think that's a great thing to do. Is if you have enough time, grab the book, read the book, and then watch the series, or vice versa. Whatever floats your boat. But that seems like a winner for Apple Plus. I'm really looking forward to that one. Next on the docket. Did you have anything else to add?
No, I was just affirming what you were just saying.
Yeah. Next little piece of news. This is just a really quickie. I'm not going to go into depth because there's not much to tell other than Stone Temple Pilot Scott Weiland movie is in the works. That very interesting. Kind of his. I think it's based on his book. I think it's his autobiography, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that'd be very interesting. Dark Pictures and Orion Williams optioned the memoir. Yeah, it's the memoir for a Rockstar caliber movie based on the life of former frontman who died in 2015. So it'll be interesting to see, who they cast, what kind of movie this is going to be, just straight up biopic, or if they're going to lean more heavily into the musical kind of Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man style, or just tell more of a drama. Obviously, it's a story with an unhappy ending. Most of these are, but
yeah. But I'm going to need something with a little bit more grit. I'm going to need a little Sid and Nancy shaken onto this story.
Right.
If you try and make a clean biopic of Scott Weiland, it may ring untrue.
Right. Yeah,
I'm not saying that he's a bad guy or anything. I'm just saying
I'm hoping
he was rough.
He's a rock and roll dude, man. So tell the rock and roll story. I want a rock and roll
dude in the 90s.
Yeah,
come on.
Right? I've heard some stories, so hopefully we get those for both Stone Temple Pilots, his time there, and his time at with Velvet Revolver, which
that's
really
what I was.
Well.
Yeah, I would be curious about that period of his life as well. Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. Looking forward to that. That's in the works, and we'll get more information on that as it becomes available. Here's a cool little piece of news I saw today. Now, I don't really care about live TV or musicals and that kind of thing, but Annie Live has tapped Harry Connick Jr. to play Daddy Warbucks in the NBC musical. I thought that was great. I've always liked Harry Connick Jr. I love when he shows up and stuff. He's an absolute brilliant singer, and I actually like when he acts in film and TV shows. So this should be very interesting for him to play Daddy Warbucks. It wouldn't have been, I guess, my first pick for Daddy Warbucks, but it's probably a good pick. What say you?
Well, and whenever they decide to go in on another adaptation of Annie, I am never all that interested in who's going to play Annie. I'm always interested as to who Daddy Warbucks is. I saw the Albert Finney Daddy Warbucks a lot as a kid because my sister loved Annie. Mm-hmm. And then when the Kevin Wallace Annie came out and it was Jamie Foxx, that was absolutely fantastic. I loved that one too. And this is all just indoctrination from my sister. Right. And so now Harry Connick Jr., I think we can agree that we both have a crush on Harry Connick Jr. I've been a big fan of his music and his Christmas albums. And when he shows up in things like Hope Floats or that one sort of thriller with Sigourney Weaver, come on.
Or Independence Day.
Yes. And so, although never mind. That's
right.
Speaking of Independence Day, we have something to talk about at the end of the show. But yeah, I like Harry Connick Jr. and him as Daddy Warbucks kind of fits for me. It started off as New England Daddy Warbucks with Albert Finney, and then you got New York Jamie Foxx Daddy Warbucks, and now we're gonna get Louisiana Daddy Warbucks, and it's I like him. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
So that was a cool little piece of news today. Yeah. We do have another trailer I wanted to share with everybody. Netflix is doing something, it's a cool little trilogy of movies. Horror movies, primarily, I think, focused on young adults, late teens, early 20s, and, young adults at heart. It's called Fear Street, and part 1 drops on Friday, July 2nd. And it's called 1994. What they're going to do is they're going to drop that this Friday. The following Friday, they're dropping the part 2, which is titled 1978. And then the following Friday, they'll drop part 3, which is titled 1666 on July 16th, which has me pretty excited. Mm-hmm. Hopefully these are good. Netflix has been stepping up their game in the movie realm. Obviously, they do scripted series, and most of their series, scripted or unscripted, are really well made. They stumbled out of the gate, I think, with their original movies. There's some good ones, there's some not so good ones. I'm hoping that this comes down on the good side. A cool three-parter, movie trilogy, I think is cool. It's something that not all the streamers are doing, so it kind of sets them apart. And the trilogy begins in Shadyside, 1994. In 1994, a group of teenagers discovers that the terrifying events that have haunted their town for generations may all be connected. And then they may be the next targets. So I did grab this. So if we want to watch the trailer for 1994, which premieres this Friday, July 2nd. So that's Fear Street. I think I'll be interested to get your thoughts, Scotty. I don't think this is probably your cup of tea.
Well, come on. I have Netflix. Everyone has Netflix. There's no reason not to watch it. It looks entertaining, and I really appreciate the more human than human. I like the fact that the 1994 it's 1994. It looks like a 1994 horror movie. Yeah. The thing that I was thinking, because I thought this was going to be more of a shuffling all 3 of the trilogy into a trilogy trailer. This is just for 1994.
Yeah.
Which is cool, which is fine, because I know you don't want to give away all the best stuff or tease too far ahead into the future. My only fear is that 1666 has got to be amazing.
Right. Yeah, it does.
And you know what? I am interested just because if it is being followed in subsequent weeks and we're going to get a trilogy in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes, I will watch a trilogy in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad they decided to drop every Friday and not once a month.
Do you know how long? Is it like an actual feature-length movie?
I believe they're feature-length movies. Yeah, probably an hour and a half each. I would assume.
Makes sense for a horror.
Yep. So look for that Fear Street starting this Friday.
All right.
And we'll check that out. See if that's any good. It looks like it's a little slick. It's kind of still a little slick, but it does look like there might be some horror elements, some good scary parts in there. I don't know. We'll have to see.
What I'm hoping, based on the fact that they have called each movie 1994, 1978, or 1977? 78. And then 1666, I hope that they embrace the time period in which they make, and that's what the first one, it's like, no, that looks like 1994. It sounds like 1994. They're acting like it's 1994. So when I watch 1978, it'll be interesting to see how that changes in terms of the storytelling.
So next Monday we'll have the trailer for that. We'll do that. We'll do that next Monday, and we'll see how that stacks up the 1978. And then the following Monday we'll do the trailer for 1666 and see how that stacks up to the prior too.
Well, and before we get into, or did you want to
I'm sorry. Yeah. It won't be next Monday. It'll be next Tuesday or Wednesday.
See, you got to wait till the end so we can tell you what's happening next weekend.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we got some physical media.
Oh, first, before we go to physical media, 2 quick hits. Batwoman, original cast member Doug Ray Scott exits after 2 seasons. I think in another kind of hint that this show is going down in flames. I don't think anybody watches this show anymore, and if they do, it's just so they can do videos on YouTube about how much it sucks. It is not a good show. I don't really know that it started out as a really good show. So I think it was kind of doomed from its inception.
Honestly, I've never seen it.
I don't know. It just didn't kind of work. It definitely didn't work for me, and I was looking forward to it. It just didn't. It didn't work. And the next one is Chris Pine was spotted on Dungeons and Dragons movie set, which I thought was cool. So it looks like Dungeons and Dragons movie is getting well into production. Chris Pine taking on his role, and I thought that we should bring you that kind of news. If anybody's wondering, well, hey, what the hell's going on with Dungeons and Dragons? Well, they are filming. So,
well, what kind of Dungeons and Dragons movie are you looking for? Are you a Dungeons and Dragons fan?
I am. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan. But I am a fan. I do. I like the lore. Obviously, So I'm really hoping that we get a good, swords and sorcery movie out of it. Dragons and beasts and quests and magic and all that fun stuff. Yes. So I'm hoping to see that. I'm really excited to see a live action version. So hopefully they don't crap the bed with this one.
Well, and do you want to see any sort of acknowledgement of the players, or do you just want it to be completely set within the world of the Dungeons and the Dragons?
For me, either would be fine. If you're gonna kind of focus on players, it would have to be handled with kid gloves. It would have to be handled in such a way that made me believe it, and then didn't make it cheeseball. I think I'm done with these kind of movies being cheesy. I think they deserve and should be taken seriously and made into serious IP and serious project, movies. So I would hope that was the case, but I think we're going to get the latter.
Okay.
I think we're going to get the latter in that scenario, and I'm fine with that too. I think it could be really good. We'll have to see. So far, video game movies don't make the transfer very well. I think the one that do it the best, I think, was the Tomb Raider one. I thought Tomb Raider was good with Alicia Vikander.
All right. So I was thinking more back in Angelina Jolie days.
Well, those are fine. Those are fine popcorn movies. But I thought the Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider was really handled with care and done seriously and done well. Unfortunately, I don't think it did very well at the box office, or did average at the box office. But
I don't know.
But if they do it like that, I think it could be a good transfer from video game. The problem with video game movies, I think, is so many video game players want it to be like the game, and that's where the disconnect, I think, happens. Is how to make it feel like the game, but also be a movie that has a beginning, middle, and end, and conveys a good plot points and a good story arc. And I just don't. We haven't gotten that yet, with the exception of maybe Tomb Raider. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I have high hopes. Like I said, I say this all the time, and I think you agree with this. Is I want a great movie every time. Just I want to like each movie that they make.
And
it
going
doesn't
back
always
to
turn out that way, but I want.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. But going back to just Dungeons and Dragons and games in general, when an audience of a game sits down to something with the title of their game, yeah, I would love to see a great Fallout movie. But I know that as soon as I leave the Fallout movie, I'm going to go home and play Fallout and have a better time.
Mm.
So with Dungeons and Dragons, I hope it is the movie that the Dungeons and Dragons fans want, either with acknowledgement of players or not. But I don't know. When you have a property that is based on your imagination and involvement, seeing it given to you passively seems perilous.
Yeah,
but Chris Pine, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I'm hoping that he saw something in the script that made him say, "Oh yeah, this is worth doing." So that's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take these, or shall I continue with the physical media?
I
can take them.
What the
I can take them. So for the first time ever, Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, pardon me.
Coming to 4K Blu-ray September 22nd, 2021. That was announced. I got that announcement today, and it might have been announced previously, but got the official announcement today via Warner Brothers. So I think you might be able to pre-order on Amazon and Walmart and all the places you get your DVDs, Best Buy, and Blu-rays. But definitely look out for that. That's a must-have for my household. Full Metal Jacket. Whether I collect or you collect Blu-rays or not, get that. That's a must. That's a must-have.
Oh, this is the keystone to any collector's library. Full Metal Jacket. It's a fantastic anti-war movie, if it is.
Right.
But it is also. It's visceral and it's got a good soundtrack and it's a Kubrick movie. You got to have all the Kubricks in your collection.
So not only am I a huge Kubrick fan, he's my favorite director of all time, I think. This is the movie that made me choose the Marine Corps over the Army or Navy when Desert Storm was happening and I enlisted. So that's the movie has a special place in my heart because of that, but also because it's just a wonderfully made film.
Yes. What was the accuracy like between the movie and the actual situation?
100%.
Wow. It was a documentary. All right.
Yeah. Could not believe how close they got to the mark.
Well, as a Canadian, I will watch Full Metal Jacket again.
It's good.
Yes.
And continuing on with 4K Blu-rays, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is available tomorrow.
The good one.
The good one. So you can get this Amazon, like I said, Amazon or wherever you get your Blu-rays from. Best Buy, Walmart. They should all be. If you don't have it already pre-ordered, you can pick it up tomorrow. So I thought that was interesting to. Couple of physical media pieces to give our audience. What do you think, Scott?
Well, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a childhood favorite. I want to see that crazy tunnel of terror in 4K. Everything, just such a bright and colorful movie. And then almost the same sort of the distinction between the first half of the movie and the last half of the movie when they're in regular world and then they get into the Chocolate Factory. I can't imagine those colors popping. And Gene Wilder, that is definitely a pretty movie. Obviously, it's kind of like the flip side of Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket is a very visceral, serious nature to it, and Willy Wonka is more of a like, have this after. This is the ice cream.
I want it now.
I want a Oompa Loompa now.
So get Willy Wonka. I'd love to have that actually on Blu-ray.
I
think I want both of those movies, and it's probably why they jumped out at me when I was perusing the news and information this morning. So that'll do it. That'll do it for all the news. We got a couple of comments that we can go through real quick, and then I think we'll wrap it up for the day. What do you think?
Sir. Oh, I'm on board.
UK Reaction Guy says, hi.
Hey.
And also, UK Reaction Guy said, I seen Fast and Furious 9 yesterday. Great. Well, I guess being the UK Reaction Guy, we'll see your reaction soon. We'll be looking out for that on your channel. yeah, we haven't seen it. I don't know that I will see it in the theater. It's just not my jam. But if it is your jam, get out to the theater and see it.
That whole car strapped to the thing with the rockets and going into... I want to know.
You should.
And I know you said something about the Transformers, but like I saw Transformers 3 when basically Chicago crumbled, and I saw that in theater just for that. Did I think it was a brilliant script with a compelling story? No, I just wanted to see the buildings fall down. So I want to see the car go into space.
It's not Dr. Zhivago, but it's entertaining nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Right,
and then and before we go, two things. First thing, I know that there was a bout of trouble that Cinema Gulp had over there. Some algorithms came in and roughed up his place. If you want to go over and say hello to him, and you are a fan of the Fast and the Furious saga, the Fast saga or the Furious saga?
I think the Fast saga.
If you're a fan of the Fast saga, head over to Cinema Gulp. They just did a new episode of The Chug Show where they go over everything.
Great episode.
There are puppets.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
There are puppets. So go check out Cinema Gulp's latest episode of The Chug Show. They'll, and give them a like and a subscribe, because looks like some funny shenanigans are happening behind the scenes there, and they could use all the support that we can muster. And, we like those guys, and we want to help our friends as much as we can.
The good people. Go say hello. Take them a cake.
Also, because next Monday is the observable holiday for 4th of July here in the States, we're not going to schedule a show. Now, that doesn't mean that we may jump on live. I don't know. But if we do decide to do like an impromptu show, it'll be like a Friday free for all type of deal. It won't be a structured show for next Monday if we do it at all.
Yes, it's going to be a long weekend. We don't know what's going to happen during that long weekend. But if you do plan on us, and we thank you if you do, Monday may be a little up in the air.
Right. But we should be back Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll let you know as the week comes to a close. Thursday or Friday, we'll probably know a lot more and tell you for sure.
We may even announce on Thursday, which is Canada Day, July 1st.
Right.
At which point I will make fun of Steve because he needs his anniversary of country off, and I'm just gonna do this.
Right. Well, you're a trooper, and I need my time alone.
No, I understand. I get annoying. I get it.
I get it. Yeah. Let's close this thing out, shall we?
Yeah, let's get out of here. I'm sick and tired of you.
We got things to do apart from each other. Anyway, Scott, as always, it was a great time. I love doing these shows with you, man. And until tomorrow, for Scotty R37, I am Steve Foley. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, guys.